What can I say? I don't know what to say actually. I can't see. I don't know why I can't see my YouTube. Oh, okay. I guess I can see my YouTube thing. I don't know. Sorry. Um, just one of those days, one of those weeks. Trying to determine um, what the best alternative is between. Well, you basically Apache Pinot or Pinot. Um, Looks like an interesting OLAP data store. Between that versus, I don't know, let's say Mother Duck, which is DuckDB, and seeing how that works in that from that perspective as well too. It'll be interesting to see from there. Um, but Apache Pinot seems more of a case where like it's built for not a data lake type of Delta Lake type of thing, but it seems like you do for real time data ingestions and such. Uh, for immutable and mutable data. That's kind of like what a Delta Lake is, basically. Delta Lake, not Data Lake. Um, One of the things someone was asking about was like RabbitMQ and Kafka. I already talked a video about it, but it's more of a case where RabbitMQ and Kafka, one's a pub sub, another's more of a broker, a message broker more than anything else. Um, I mean, one of the things is Kafka can be used for processing like streams of data, uh, and I guess RabbitMQ it doesn't. I guess it has it guarantees a minimal order of message. Well, the ordering of messages is minimal when it comes to that guarantee of that within that stream. Um, the one nice thing about RabbitMQ is it does have a built-in support for retry logic and dead letter exchanges, which is pretty impressive. Uh, Whereas Kafka, that's more of the case where it leaves it on it's to the users themselves, basically the consumers themselves. As far as we got the publisher, then the subscriber or whatever consumer app that's reading the messages off the topics themselves. Uh, so like one of the things is like yeah, I think in the ordering of the messages themselves for RabbitMQ, one of the things. Oh, I didn't realize I'm on the different. I have two different cameras. I apologize for that. So sorry about that. Um, One of the things is because I'm so used to like looking at the camera here too, because I have a webcam up here. One of the things is for RabbitMQ is it's asynchronous. So when it comes to messages, it doesn't come in the right order, whatever order it comes into basically. Uh, and then the other aspect is as well too is uh, I guess you could say the way RabbitMQ comes in, it's like you're publishing it into one channel, passing it sort of through an exchange, and then it'll be received in that same order, basically. Um, so put it this way, it's more of a case where like you can have a consumer, let's say you have two different consumers. Um, One could basically, how do I describe it? Basically, it's like one consumer can probably return a message to the queue after reading them, like processing a failure or something like that. While another, when the message is returned, another consumer two, can come in and pick it up for processing, even if it has been already consumed and such. Um, that's why the consumer can like process the messages sort of out of order, and that's why it can be that from that perspective asynchronous and all that stuff. But in any case, there's the message routing part as well too, and message timing. You got message time to live or basically time to live versus delayed scheduled messages, messages retention. fault handling, transient failures versus, let's say, persistent failures. Um, Scale is another big factor as well too, and then the consumer complexity. That's where I think Kafka uses a little bit more different approach, whereas RabbitMQ uses a smart broker and dumb consumer approach. Whereas Kafka uses the dumb broker approach, but the smart consumer approach more than anything else. Basically, Kafka is leaving it up to the consumer end of it, whereas RabbitMQ is leaving it up to the brokerage end of it. Basically, again, it's a matter of what the different use cases are. I mean, for RabbitMQ, you want to use it for routing rules, advanced routing rules for that matter, our message time controls, advanced fault handling capabilities. Whereas Kafka, you might want to use it for strict message ordering if you need strict message ordering, messages that need to be extended for a longer period of time. Because one of the things is with the Kafka, messages can still stay in the topic for however long you want to set it for the time to live, basically. And of course, to reach high scale, where other brokers don't exist at that point as well too. But that's that basically. Sorry, someone was chatting. Me? Okay, someone messaged me there, and I'll talk to them much later about that. Sorry. It's fascinating. What else can I talk about? Well, it'll be interesting to see tomorrow's Giants 49ers game. Oh, Jesus, I keep forgetting the camera's down here. I apologize. It'll be interesting to see how the Giants 49ers game play out. I'm pretty sure the Giants are going to lose. If they win tomorrow, it'd be bar none a miracle, quite honestly, but I doubt they're going to win. It's a matter of how much they're going to lose by. That's what I think it comes down to. It's not a question of if they're going to lose. It's a matter of how much they're going to lose by. I mean, I'm a Giants fan again, of course, but it's going to happen. Let's be honest. It's going to happen. There's no way the Giants are winning this game. What else? I don't know what else I talk about actually. You know what? I haven't really looked at the news per se. My fest is. There's DuckDB, Electric SQL. What's this Electric SQL? Apologies, I'm gonna have to look at something about this. Something's called Electric SQL. I'll have to read up about it a little bit later. Sorry. News. Let's go to Times. I'm not touching the migrant workers issue. Bard is interesting to see. Google's incorporating a lot of Bard into a lot of things now, like Gmail, Google Docs, Google Drive. It'll be interesting to see how they incorporate Bard into YouTube and YouTube Shorts for that matter. That would be interesting to see if you can actually incorporate that. That'd be great if they can incorporate that Bard. That is. Huh. I'm sorry, I'm reading a New York Times about. You know what? I could actually probably share the screen with you. Most famous brands claim as subscribers made on mixed ranges. He is also one of the most popular. Well, yeah, that's true. Dolan is definitely vilified. He sucks as an owner of the New York Knicks. I think everyone wants to get rid of him. We'll be all waiting for him to go, Same thing with the Rangers. The other reason Dolan, James Dolan is like is because his father, who's head of Cablevision at the time, was the big one. Alexa, stop. So Dolan has this fear. That's going to be interesting. I did see it at one point, and they were calling it. I remember a taxi driver was calling it MSG, Madison Square Garden. I'm like, what? We have only one Madison Square Garden. I think he was trying to say the owner. I just realized now he's saying the owner of Madison Square Garden is also the owner of the Sphere. Also during the pandemic with those 3 or 4 probably. Frontage. Oh, Dolan founded HBO. I didn't realize that. That one I remember buying the stake. And I know he bought Radio City Music Hall. For the first time without the safety net wall. So he has done since exterior. It's like July. Social media has buzzed over the changing display. The worst man leaving through. He goes from house and one's gas or something. That's fear. Oh, he's planning to. I was hearing about the Sphere being opening in other places, but I didn't realize he was going to be doing. It was Dome that was doing this. This is going to be interesting. You know what? I would love to see how their Sphere comes out. I would love to go there just to check it out because the fact is, like, it would be a great augmented reality experience. Because I remember seeing that some of that they can have that ability to do that. They don't show the inside. There was a way to see the inside. There was a great article about it on the inside of it. I don't know why they're talking about Dylan about this. He's got to get out. He's got to like leave the Knicks. Yep, I remember Charles Dolan. In any case, it was an interesting read. I'll just leave it at that. Sorry, I've been just rambling on. I'll leave it at that. Um, Please leave your comment in the comment section if you have any thoughts about the sphere itself, about Kafka, RabbitMQ, the Giants, and the 49ers. Let me know your thoughts. I do read my comments when I do get notified about them, and I do respond to them when they warrant a response. With that, I'll leave it at that. If you like my channel, like my video, like my content, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you have, I thank you for that. And with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course,